What if I told you that your mind is programmed to always prove you right? That every certainty you have about yourself, others, and the world is merely a reflection of what you have already decided to believe? It may seem comforting, but in reality, this can be extremely dangerous. Because if you are always right, your reality never changes. The universe doesn't challenge you, expand you, or surprise you. It only confirms tirelessly what you already expect to see. This happens because your observation is not just a passive act. It is a force that shapes your existence. What you observe reinforces your vibration, and your vibration attracts experiences that match that energy. But here's the question: what if your beliefs are limiting what you can experience? What if what you are absolutely certain about is closing doors that the universe could open? Consciousness is malleable, expansive, and infinite, but only when you allow your observation to go beyond old patterns. In the next few minutes, you will discover how your mind creates a cycle of confirmations that may be trapping your reality, and more importantly, how to break this cycle and use the power of observation to completely transform your life experience. What you see defines your experience. Your reality does not exist separately from how you observe it. The life you live today is not simply a random set of external events, but a direct result of what your mind has chosen to prioritize and validate over time. This happens because your consciousness does not act only as a witness, but as an active co-creator of the experience you manifest daily. From the moment you wake up until you fall asleep, your mind is continuously collecting evidence that validates what you deeply believe. This is not just a psychological process. It is also spiritual and energetic. Your consciousness, in direct connection with the vibrational field of the universe, shapes your reality according to the type of attention you sustain. When you deeply believe in something, your mind tirelessly seeks proof of that truth. Imagine you believe that the people around you are envious and negative. Your observation immediately begins to filter others' actions, to highlight small signs that confirm your belief. A seemingly innocent comment takes on a hidden meaning. A quick glance may be interpreted as judgment. Gradually, you strengthen this idea in your mind until it becomes an unquestionable reality for you. On the other hand, if you believe that people are naturally good and cooperative, your observation also adjusts to confirm this belief. You start to notice generous gestures, kind words, and attitudes that validate this positive perception. Over time, your life becomes lighter and more open because your attention is directed toward the best aspects of the world around you. But here lies the danger. Your observation does not make judgments. It does not distinguish whether a belief is good or bad, productive or destructive. It simply confirms what you already expect. That's precisely why you're always right. Your consciousness will always provide evidence of what you believe to be real, even if that reality is blocking your growth, happiness, and spiritual expansion. This confirmation mechanism creates a closed and potentially dangerous cycle. The more you observe something, the more it becomes true in your perception. The more true it feels, the more evidence you find, creating a vicious cycle that is difficult to break. Many people spend years, even decades, trapped in this loop without realizing that they themselves are the creators of the invisible barriers limiting their lives. Spiritually speaking, your vibration follows exactly the direction of what you observe most frequently. If your attention is continuously focused on difficulties, limitations, and frustrations, you tune your energy field to that frequency, and the universe responds by manifesting situations that further reinforce these patterns. This direct connection between observation, vibration, and manifestation explains why some people seem stuck in the same challenges while others continuously attract opportunities for expansion. However, the good news is that by becoming aware of this mechanism, you reclaim your power. If you understand that your observation creates your reality, you can start consciously choosing what you want to validate with your attention. You can take control of this process and direct it toward profound transformation. Understanding the power of observation means realizing that your current reality is neither permanent nor fixed. It is shaped at every moment as you change your perspective. This means that destiny is not something external or unchangeable, but rather the result of what you allow your mind to validate. In the next few minutes, you will discover how to break this automatic cycle of the mind and how to use conscious observation to completely redefine your reality, creating space for a life experience aligned with your true spiritual and energetic potential. How the mind only sees what it wants to see. Confirmation bias is one of the most influential yet subtle psychological phenomena. It's as if the mind is constantly seeking to validate its own beliefs, selectively interpreting information and events, often in a distorted way. This mechanism is so powerful that it shapes your life experience in ways you may not even realize. The human brain processes an enormous amount of information daily. To manage this overload, it adopts mental shortcuts, one of the most significant being confirmation bias. This bias operates by filtering everything that aligns with pre-existing beliefs while ignoring, minimizing, or distorting any data that contradicts them. For example, someone who deeply believes that the world is full of selfish people will always find examples that reinforce this view. Even if they encounter positive interactions, acts of generosity, or inspiring situations, their mind will tend to classify them as exceptions or insignificant events, ensuring that their initial belief remains intact. The great danger of this mechanism lies in its invisibility. Many people don't even realize they are trapped in this cycle of constant validation. They believe they are seeing the world objectively when, in reality, they are merely confirming what they have already assumed to be absolute truth. But why does the mind behave this way? The answer is linked to the sense of security and stability this mechanism provides. Questioning a deep belief can cause discomfort and insecurity. The brain naturally seeks internal coherence, so it prefers to continuously confirm its beliefs rather than challenge them. Spiritually, this creates a significant blockage. When your perception is rigidly anchored in limiting beliefs, you lose the ability to perceive opportunities, signs, and messages the universe may be sending to guide your journey. Your spiritual connection becomes restricted because you only notice what validates your narrow view of reality. Breaking free from confirmation bias requires courage and awareness. It demands that you become a keen observer of your own mental patterns. You need to actively question your perceptions, deliberately seeking information that challenges your established beliefs. By doing this, you expand not only your perception, but also your connection with the universe, allowing new experiences and spiritual insights to enter your life. In the next few minutes, you will learn how to identify the signs of confirmation bias in your life, and more importantly, how to free your mind from this pattern, allowing your observation to become an open channel for new realities. You are projecting your beliefs onto reality. Imagine that the world around you is a vast mirror, not just a mirror that reflects your physical appearance, but a deep mirror that reveals everything hidden in the most subtle layers of your consciousness. Every interaction, experience, or situation you face daily is actually a direct reflection of what resides within you. You don't perceive reality as it objectively is, you perceive it as you are internally. When you look into this existential mirror, you rarely realize that you are seeing a projection of your own expectations and deepest beliefs. Instead, you believe you are seeing something solid, stable, and separate from your perception. But this is a dangerous illusion. What appears external is always filtered through how you interpret and understand the world. And your interpretation is determined by what your mind has already accepted as absolute truth. This is why two people can be in the same environment and have completely different experiences. One may perceive the world as a welcoming and friendly place, while the other feels surrounded by hostility and judgment. Neither of them is wrong. Both are projecting their internal reality at that moment. The external world is the same, but the mirror of consciousness shows each person exactly what aligns with their internal vibration. This mirror effect explains why you may repeatedly experience similar situations in your life, even while deeply desiring something different. The external reality cannot change until you modify the internal pattern you are projecting onto it. If you are continuously experiencing conflicts, it's because something within you is in conflict. If you frequently perceive rejection, something within your consciousness vibrates at the frequency of self-judgment. The great danger of this mechanism is its subtle and silent nature. Since you rarely recognize your responsibility in creating your circumstances, You end up believing you are merely reacting to a chaotic and unpredictable world. This generates a sense of powerlessness, frustration, and even hopelessness. However, once you become aware of the mirror effect, you shift from being a passive spectator to an active co-creator of your reality. You recognize that every challenge or blockage can be seen as a spiritual opportunity to look within and understand what needs to be adjusted in your consciousness. Instead of blaming the mirror for showing something unpleasant, you begin to adjust the original image, your internal beliefs and perceptions, and then observe how the external reflection changes. By using this understanding as a powerful spiritual tool, you not only transform your external reality, but also elevate your energetic connection with the universe. Your life no longer becomes a cycle of negative repetitions, but rather a continuous journey of self-discovery and spiritual expansion. In the next few minutes, you will learn how to break free from this projection pattern once and for all and take control over what you manifest, consciously aligning your external reality with the internal frequency you wish to cultivate. When your convictions become limitations, there is a false sense of security that comes from our deepest certainties. The firmer these convictions, the more our mind tries to protect them, creating an invisible barrier that prevents the expansion of consciousness. When you are absolutely convinced of something, your perception becomes shielded against anything that challenges this certainty, making it rigid and impermeable to the natural changes life brings. Spiritually speaking, absolute certainties create significant blockages in your development. The universe is not static. It is in constant motion, expansion, and evolution. When your mind clings rigidly to certain beliefs, you disrupt this dynamic connection with the flow of the universe. What was meant to be a fluid journey, open to universal wisdom, becomes a narrow path, limited by the boundaries you have set for yourself. Observe how this happens subtly in daily life. People who believe they have absolute certainty about who they are and what they deserve often miss valuable opportunities for growth. Someone convinced they will never succeed professionally, for example, unconsciously rejects proposals that could lead to prosperity. Another individual who firmly believes they do not deserve to be loved maintains superficial relationships, pushing away deep connections before they even have a chance to develop. In these cases, absolute certainties not only limit experiences, but also drastically reduce the spiritual and emotional depth of their lives. But why does the mind cling so strongly to certainties? The answer lies in the illusion of comfort they provide. The unknown can be frightening because it challenges our internal references. The mind, in search of stability, prefers to believe it already fully understands the world. However, the spiritual and energetic reality is precisely the opposite. It is a field of infinite possibilities that can only be accessed when your consciousness lets go of the rigidity of absolute beliefs. The greatest danger is that these certainties become disguised prisons. The more you believe you already know, the less you perceive the complexity and beauty of life. Your observation becomes selective, and you begin to discard evidence that could broaden your vision and elevate your energetic frequency. This not only limits your perception, but also weakens your spiritual connection, because the universe communicates with us through novelty, the unexpected, and constant expansion. To regain spiritual flexibility, you must regularly question your certainties, not because they are necessarily wrong, but because questioning them opens doors for the universe to present you with broader perspectives and enriching experiences. Instead of rigidly defending your beliefs, become curious about them. Ask yourself, what if there is something beyond what I so deeply believe? When you are willing to question, the universe responds with surprising insights and previously unimaginable possibilities. You discover that true spiritual security does not lie in absolute certainties, but in the constant openness to the evolution of consciousness. In the next few minutes, you will learn how to transform your certainties into open doors, expanding your consciousness for an even deeper connection with the universe and your true spiritual potential. How to break the cycle and expand your perception. Breaking the automatic cycle of limiting perceptions begins with the awareness of the observer within you. You may not even realize it, but there is a part of your mind that is always watching your thoughts and experiences. This is your higher consciousness, the aware observer that exists beyond conditioning and pre-existing beliefs. It is from this state of elevated consciousness that you gain real power for transformation, because you stop reacting automatically and start consciously choosing how you want to interpret and experience your reality. The conscious observer acts as a kind of spiritual guardian of your attention. Instead of allowing your mind to wander aimlessly, passively reacting to what happens, you begin to cultivate intentional perception, focused on what you truly want to experience. This shift in mental attitude does not occur by imposing new thoughts or beliefs, but through the constant practice of observing without judgment what arises in your mind. You become aware not only of what you are thinking, but also of how these thoughts influence your vibration and consequently your reality. Developing the conscious observer is a gradual process of inner awakening. Instead of fighting negative thoughts or limiting beliefs, you learn to recognize them without resistance, observing them as temporary mental phenomena. In this state, you realize that you are not obligated to immediately accept everything your mind proposes. By distancing yourself slightly from these internal contents, you create space for a broader and more flexible perception of reality, capable of accessing higher frequencies and answers more aligned with your spiritual essence. The power of this practice lies precisely in the simplicity with which it profoundly changes your relationship with both your inner and outer worlds. Instead of wasting energy trying to combat or avoid certain thoughts, you simply observe them passing by like clouds in the sky, present for a moment but without real power over your higher consciousness. In this state of conscious observation, you realize that your old beliefs are merely past interpretations, not absolute realities. This new way of being present in your reality has powerful spiritual implications. The more aware you become of your role as an observer, the easier it becomes to recognize when you are about to fall into old limiting patterns, allowing you to gently redirect your attention to something more expansive and elevated. Instead of continuously reinforcing the same beliefs that restrict your growth, you begin to perceive infinite possibilities that were previously hidden by the automatic filter of the mind. Now that you understand the essential role of the conscious observer, you are ready to learn how to apply this expanded awareness directly to your daily life, making your observation a powerful tool for co-creating a reality more aligned with your true spiritual and energetic potential. In the next few minutes, you will discover how to bring this expanded awareness directly into your day-to-day experience, learning to observe actively and in alignment with the energy of the universe, transforming your perception into the most powerful tool for manifesting the reality you truly wish to live. How to reprogram your observation to create a new reality. The key to changing your reality is not trying to control external events, but rather redirecting how you observe them. Your perception is like an internal software that can be reprogrammed. Imagine your mind as an advanced computer. Over the years, various programs and patterns have been installed, influencing how you react to the world. However, many of these patterns were not consciously chosen by you. They emerged from past experiences, the people around you, and the stories you have repeatedly told yourself. Now consider the possibility of starting a conscious process of reprogramming this internal system. It is not necessary to erase everything at once or fight against old beliefs. Instead, the secret lies in gradually introducing new perspectives that will replace limiting patterns. Each new way of observing functions as a powerful update, adjusting your perception and allowing your reality to respond to this new energetic alignment. A simple yet highly effective method to reprogram your observation is to actively question your current perceptions. Whenever you find yourself in a situation that seems to confirm a negative or limiting belief, take a conscious pause and ask yourself, what am I not seeing here? Is there another way to interpret this situation? This simple practice creates a powerful gap between the stimulus and your automatic reaction, allowing new insights to emerge naturally. Another essential point in this process is understanding that reprogramming your observation is not about pretending that certain things do not happen or forcing yourself to have artificially positive thoughts. On the contrary, it is about consciously expanding your vision to include other possibilities and interpretations that previously went unnoticed. The more you expand your ability to perceive different perspectives, the more your consciousness opens to receive signs, solutions, and deeper spiritual connections. Spiritually speaking, your mind is connected to a greater universal energy field. Every time you consciously choose to observe something in a new light, you are creating a new energetic connection with this field. Over time, these connections begin to alter the frequency of your personal vibration, aligning it with new experiences, opportunities, and outcomes. The universe is not simply reacting to you. It is constantly co-creating with you, responding directly to the type of observation you predominantly maintain. Start today by introducing small updates to your daily perception. Deliberately choose to notice what is already working well in your life, observe positive aspects, and recognize potential realities you had not considered before. Every time you do this, you are literally writing new codes into your mental and spiritual programming, allowing your life to respond to these new directions. Now you know that your mind is always confirming what you deeply believe. Understanding this is crucial because your life is not shaped by chance, but by how you observe and validate your internal perceptions. Recognizing this process is the first step to changing everything around you. Instead of accepting your certainties as unchangeable, start questioning them. Consciously observe what you have been reinforcing, because by doing so, you create space for the universe to show you new realities. Remember, you are not a victim of your circumstances, but an active co-creator of your experience. Your perception is not just a passive filter of reality. It is the key that defines what manifests in your life. By transforming your observation, you also transform your vibration, opening doors to infinite possibilities. Your reality is neither fixed nor limited. It is malleable and expansive, shaped at every moment by your conscious attention. And now, with this awareness, you have the power to create an experience aligned with your true spiritual potential. The choice is always yours. Choose to observe differently, and everything will change.